Saturday night in Saudi Arabia, the biggest superstar in boxing, Saul Canelo Alvarez, makes his return to the squared circle against William Scull. And this is significant for many reasons. And one, because this is the first time in 2 years that Canelo's fighting outside of Las Vegas, Nevada, and it's the first time in Canelo's illustrious career that he's fighting outside of the United States or Mexico, as those are the only two locations he's had a fight in his career. And that is because back in February, he signed a reported $400 million contract for 5 fights with Turki Al-Sheikh, and to put on some big events, and leading to the biggest one probably against Terrence Crawford in September. But before Canelo can get to that fight, he has to get past the IBF Super Middleweight Champion at 168 pounds, and that is William Scull, who, like some of Canelo's opponents in the past, is the bigger fighter in this matchup. He is bigger by 4 inches, does have a reach advantage, and is coming into this fight very confident. And although Scull hasn't fought the level of competition of a guy like Canelo, or on this stage of a big event like this in Riyadh, as all of those events recently have had that big fight feel, he is a worthy challenger to Canelo, and Canelo's trying to become a 2-time undisputed super middleweight champion. Is just something that very few have done, and it just, although Canelo is a favorite, and a big favorite at that in many of his fights, he's minus 3,000, while William Scull is plus 1,400 on DraftKings Sportsbook. And Canelo to win by decision or technical decision is plus 160, and that's where I see myself leaning, and I think that's the best value for your money when you look at it, because since Canelo lost to Dimitri Bivol in 2022, 3 years ago, he's won 5 straight fights, and although all 5 fights have been dominant, all 5 wins have come by decision, and that's because Canelo, just to me, has flat out lacked the urgency and killer instinct that he possessed earlier in his career and throughout his career. And I think this could be a spot where he gets back on track and does that, but like I said, the smarter play is to get Canelo to win by decision, because the money line is just, although I do think Canelo is going to win this fight, I do think it is going to go into the later rounds, because William Scull is the bigger guy, and I think that he is a good all-around fighter. Canelo, to me, does have the power edge, and is, physically, he's a big-bodied guy, and I think that's where it gives him the edge, along with his experience, because, as we know, there's very few fighters, if not any, in professional boxing today that have as much big fight experience as Canelo Alvarez. I mean, this guy is just one of the best fighters of all time, and every time he fights, it feels like it's a massive event, and it's the second event of this great weekend of boxing. First, you have the event on Friday night with the 3 great fights with Teofimo Lopez and Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney all in one card, and then you have the monster Naoya Inoue on Sunday. But Canelo Alvarez, although those fighters are great, he's the biggest superstar. And will he step up to the plate? And will he deliver another iconic moment? Or will he have another decision victory? Time will tell. I'm going with Canelo by decision. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.